Redish was born just over a year ago. Phil Arnold, who was at Reddish Vale School, and I were talking about the problems that he'd encountered with students unable to concentrate because they needed to be fed 3 times a day at school. And we talked about how food poverty led on to other kinds of poverty, to chaotic living. It was born out of a family that was in debt. And we recognised that the connection between those kind of problems in young people and then isolation, which can afflict the young, the elderly, anybody. Redish is a charitable incorporated organisation. It's a project that runs in Reddish. It's by the people of Reddish for the people of Reddish. It's community regeneration and neighbourhood renewal. It's people of Reddish coming together to acknowledge what the problems are for some members of the community and try to find ways cooperatively to find solutions.
We saw some leaflets describing the work that Redish was hoping to undertake, and they were asking for volunteers. I thought, with me recently being retired, semi-retired, I could offer some of my time and maybe help in a small way.
I'm Laura and I'm the Community Development Worker for Redish. I oversee the many different projects that Redish coordinate. I was interested in working for Redish because it was such a wide community organisation, covering many different areas, not just focusing on one sector but actually looking at the community as a whole and how different aspects of the community could influence health, well-being and just the impact on our community itself. I help support the volunteers in helping to support us make all the projects run and possible within Reddish. The Redish Food Bank was one of the first projects I became involved with when I started. We are in partnership with Stockport Food Bank running the food bank in Reddish. We have up to 35 volunteers at the moment, which is constantly growing. It's one of our most popular projects. The food bank opens on Thursday mornings and Saturday mornings from 10:30 till 12:30.
In the last year, 500 people from Reddish have been fed by the Stockport Food Bank. We've been with them since April, so we've made a big impact on that number.
Another project within Redish has been our youth services. Redish has got involved with providing services for young people because we found once I came into post that there was not a lot of services available for young people in Reddish, and not only that, there was many antisocial behaviour issues within the area and a lot of young people with nothing to do. So we looked at that, and in partnership with ROC and from a lot of support from the local council who provided us with some great facilities, we've managed to start a youth cafe on a Wednesday evening from 5 till 7, which will be running on a weekly basis, and we also intend to open other sessions throughout Reddish for other areas that may not be able to access that particular centre. We hope these services will improve on how young people take part in their community.
Common Ground is a collection of people willing to go out and visit lonely people in Reddish. We recognise that in Reddish there is a need for this, and at St Elizabeth's Church we have a visiting group, and Common Ground developed from that visiting group. I am Elaine Peacock and I coordinate Common Ground. We have roughly 12 to 14 people at the moment who are willing to visit. We visit probably about 12 to 15 at the moment. We usually visit someone at least once a month, that's the requirement. Most people visit more, perhaps once a fortnight, once a week. Stay with the person a minimum of an hour, some people stay 2 hours, and just chat to them. If there is anything else that they require, if there is any odd jobs or anything, we are in contact with Age UK who can provide a person to do that. If anyone knows of anyone that needs visiting, if they please contact me or Penny, we'll get them sorted out. Hi, I'm Jo Brannan. I got involved with Reedish 12 months ago. I'm one of the trustees and I take the lead on the Reedish Growing. Reedish Growing is it's an umbrella group really for all the growing projects in Reddish, and it's to bring everybody together of all ages, and our aim is to pass on skills. On our register we've got 32 people who regularly attend a monthly meeting, but beyond that we are working with projects like the local high school, so 1 or 2 of the young people come, but there's quite a number of children there that get involved. We're working with local allotments, so 1 or 2 could come from there, so we've got lots of volunteers really.
One of the really exciting things about Reedish is how it changes and grows almost every week really. I think that's because Reedish isn't a fixed idea. It's a project that's dependent on the energy and the vision of all its volunteers. So if anybody comes along and says, you know, I'd like to do this, or I've noticed that this is something that we could do, then we just hand it over to them and say, well, would you like to get on with it? And they do, and more people come along and something else grows. Really important was the support of our diocese and their encouragement to help us believe that what we wanted to do would be possible. So right from the beginning, the diocese backed us with their expertise and their money, and we've been able to employ Laura over 3 years. Most importantly has been the belief from Colin and Richard and other people at Manchester Diocese that the idea of Reedish could really be successful. So it's time to say some thank yous to all the local churches, not just their leaders but the people who pray for us and donate and come along and give their time, to the people at Church House and to our Bishop David, to some of the local businesses who've supported us, to Stockport Homes who in so many ways have believed that we were good partners for them, that together we could make a difference in the areas of Reddish where there were the most problems. The biggest thank you though is to all our volunteers, to the people whose time and good humour and patience and ideas and huge generosity of heart have made Reedish the beginnings of a really successful project. Without them, what's happened already wouldn't have happened. And we all know that without them, without you, what happens in the future will be directed by your enthusiasm, your generosity and your desire to see Reddish become a much better place for everybody to live.